How's it going, Scrub Gamers? Welcome back to another video here at Scrub Games, and today we've got the previously DBS series video. It should have been on Sunday, but we've got it today out because I was busy on the weekend and then busy on the Monday, so I was able to get it sorted and then get it posted today. And yeah, we're gonna go over the week's news from last week. I could have waited till the end of the week, but I thought I'd still just do it, get it done with, and just wasn't able to do it until now. So let's have a look and see what last week, because we got the rest of the reveals done. Now we're just having the alt arts, but they aren't showing them officially, like properly, like they've done with these ones where you got the actual cards. They've got just like a little image show them and an in-person way show them, which even some of them don't capture how nice the texture is on them. So you like some of them look nice from the leaders, some of them don't, and yeah, it was all a debate, and it's all down to personal preference on the alt arts. But we're gonna get in a look at the last of the reveals, so we can see all the last remaining cards that we haven't seen from the previous weeks, to kind of see what we've got for the rest. Because now this is the SRs and the secret rares. So before we get into that, feel free to like the video if you enjoy it, comment below if there's any questions you have, and also don't forget to help out with because we're on our way to getting to 1,000 subs, going from 900 to 1,000, and you can help out by subscribing, which keeps you updated with my videos as when they drop. And as well as that, you can click a notification bell to again get alerts when they do drop, to know then to watch them there and then, or at a later date. So with that out of the way, let's get to the video and check out what our news is this week, well, from the last week. So we'll start off with super rares before we get into secret rares, and we go card order like we normally do. And we got the red ones. So we've already seen the Goku, so I haven't put the Goku in because we've already seen that in previous spoilers, previous videos. We've got shown that along. That was like the first one shown to go along with the alt arts, because the alt arts are only for the leaders, super rares, and secret rares. With one of the secret rares getting two alt arts, similar to like how One Piece does it for their rarities and stuff. And for the remaining two super rares, because every color has three super rares, for the remaining two red ones, we've got Hit and Beerus. So there was in the community Discord, there was a debate on what we might expect to see once we had all the non-SRs revealed, to kind of see between the characters, because how it follows it for how the order of the cards, they follow by the Japanese name. So I think someone posted up a thing to show what the Japanese names are, the order, so you can look for that and kind of guess where its spots are, and you can kind of guess between some of the cards what the SRs were going to be for those characters, and some of them you had to kind of guess with the ones between the two characters they're between, what it would be. So it's expected that it'd be Hit and Beerus, and lo and behold, they are. So we've got Hit being the 2 cost 20k and Beerus being the 5 cost 35k. Hit having 5k combos, Beerus having none, which you won't expect many of the SRs to have much combo power. They have 5k or 0. So yeah, this is the expected for some of the SRs, because they're supposed to be stronger leveled power, very good, the highest rarity, very powerful, so not much common power to compensate for the other two sides being their power and cost and effect. And for Hit, he's probably one of the weakest of the SRs, because he's just a 2 cost 20k 5k combo. When attacking, add up to 1 card from your life to your hand, then choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, and he gets minus 5k power for the turn. So that's very weak. It's good for its effect, 2 cost 20k, allows you to take a life, and then minus 5k. But if you compare this to the freezing green, the starter deck common from the yellow starter deck, which does the same thing, same cost, same power, same combo. When attacking, takes a card from life, and then does yellow things in wrestling something 3 or less. Hit basically does the same as that. It does the same thing as a common card in yellow, but if you switch the power over, it does the same as say the common Whis does, by minusing from the start deck, minusing the 5k on play. So this is this is not the level of an SR you expect, and even then, still a good card, taking a 2 cost, take a life, minus 5k, kind of in theme with red. But this is more of a common level card rather than SR, so it's quite disappointing. And it is in Universe 6. Even then, it's not got a good trait or archetype behind it, because it's Universe 6. So this is a very disappointing SR. Still not insanely bad, but it's still not what you expect from an SR. It is really disappointing. But then if you go on the other hand, with Beerus, he is 5 cost 35k, 0 combo power. He's got critical, meaning if he does damage, life goes to drop instead of to hand. And his on play is discard 1 card from your hand as the cost. Choose all your opponent's battle cards with 25k power or less, and KO them. So straight up board wipe. Now against a lot of not of, most colors, is going to be a board wipe, hit 25 less. Like it hits some of the bigger cards, but still you get rid of mostly. Like your opponent builds up a load of weenies or a load of cards to get advantage off or attack with. You can just board wipe it rather than need to spend resources trying to neg it or go into it. You just wipe it, and you can hit things a lot bigger than 25k power because red is the power of neg. So you can reduce the power of something, and then drop this and then pop it. Or if you've got opponents got a whole board and like say one or two things are a bit higher, neg those with some effects you've got, and then drop this and then pop them along with the rest of stuff. So this is basically essentially the crit version of the SR Goku from the starter deck. Just like the same power same power and cost and all the stats apart from his on play, and he has criticals. So you have one for critical, one for double strike. So Universe 7's got like kind of like options if they want to go critical, double strike, and with slightly different options. Well, I say this is better than just minus 20 on something because minus 20 might even not even kill something, and this at least kill most of it. It's like a nice little board wipe. The only problem with red is that it's got so many zero cost like zero cost combo cards for its like good cards that it's gonna have trouble with combo power and like struggling like getting clapped back or even putting on some pressure outside of the U7 Goku. But there's a red one, so hits really disappointing for an SR, but the Beerus is a very nice one because it's a Universe 7 as well, so it gets a buff off the U7 Goku lead. So that's red's out the way, so now let's go on to blue. So for first we got for blue, we've got a Mai. So we got a Mai with a 1-drop SR in Mai, and then a free cost Trunks Future. So Mai is 1 cost, 5k power, 5k combo, like most searches, like 1-drops we get, and then Trunks is a free cost 20k with 5k combo. So Mai is a really nice one because this is the more generic one. So Trunks Future is more the one for Trunks Future, but can be generic, and then Mai is like the totally generic one that kind of goes in well with Trunks, but also works as just a generic good card because his first effect, which is on play, add the 2 cards when you left your hand. So that is insane. Just because sometimes you can be held off by not being awakened by being left at 6, and then you normally like most effects, most cards, they allow you to take 1 card from life, and then you've got to play them out or do things, and that restricts you from not doing anything else. But this is a 1-drop that takes you to take 2 cards from life, leaving the rest of your energy able to use what you would probably want to use, and go down from 6 to 4 if you get held off from that. It also has a nice ability in auto once per turn. If you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, when an opponent's battle card is returned to their hand by one of your skills, you draw a card. So it helps with gaining, like keeping advantage, keeping it flowing, like keeping a mid-hand, but keeping it around that cost, like not really negging, going further than 7, but not going much higher. Which is really nice. It allows to keep you like recursion, so you've always got a hand. You don't go too low in hand. You get a nice like fair amount of cards all the time. And for one thing we do from the rules that came along with it is that if you have 2 of these on board and you have 7 cards in hand and you bounce something on your board, both of them only look at 7 cards or less when you bounce something, so you would then draw on both of them, even if on the second one you already have 8 cards in hand when it resolves. It looks for it on when it triggers, not when it resolves. So if you have 2 on board, 7 cards in hand, bounce something, you draw 1 from each. And then we have the trunk. So this is a really nice one. Free cost 20k, 5k combo, on play. Add it to 1 card for your life to your hand, then choose it to 1 battle card with a cost of 5 or less, and put it to his hand. So this is really nice. It's more awakening, so there's another way to like put some pressure in, plus also how allowing you to take more life so you can awaken as soon as possible. Because some of the decks, that's the aim of the game, you want to awaken as soon as possible, especially with Goku Black. Considering you want to start drawing to find your Goku Black as massive pieces for your actual deck's combo play. In a leader that doesn't draw on its front side. And then the fact you can bounce 1 battle card with 5 costs or less to his own hand is really good, because the only removal you got for like around about 5 costs is Final Flash, and that's an extra card, so it's not very good defensively, or like no body. And it needs to discard a card to use the effect to bounce back to the bottom of a 5 or less. And while bouncing to the bottom is a lot better than bouncing to hand, in this game, bounce back to hand is not as bad as it is in like Masters and maybe some other games, because you still got to pay the energy cost of the card to play it out. So if you bounce back a 5 cost, they still got to pay 5 to bring it down. Now, while they still get the effects of that if that often play, you're still setting them back by not leaving that card still there to then have that still on the board, then play something new and bigger the next turn. You have to make them replay over the turn if they want to use it, or most things that are like 5 costs or higher have like low combo power, so you'd have to worry. And of course, you wouldn't want to bounce back anything that's not too threatening with an on-play effect, but anything like double strikers or anything, leaving on those on board is not great. You want to put them back in hand, so if they want to put that back down, they have to pay the energy to do so. And for free energy, that's not too bad, especially when putting on the 20k body that pressures Awaken Leader, so this is a really nice SR. So that's the first two blue, really nice ones. So blue with a little more interesting, like nothing like hit being that bad in blue. Then we go on to the next one. So we got a blue and a green. So we got the Ever SR being the Goku Black SR. So we now get to see finally exactly what the Goku Black deck wants to build up to, like if it's worth reducing the cost. And we got a green Vegeta for green. So Goku Black is a 6 cost 40k, so that's a huge body, quite high cost. And remember, with cost, it's very like there's mostly effects to deal with things that are 5 or less. There's only one card that can get rid of things that are 6 or higher, and that is Broly, and that's an 8 drop that's only available in green that pops I think permanently. There's no other effects that can easily remove from the board a 6 cost. Like yellow has a way to lock it down, but there's nothing to remove it by effects. And at 40k, you're not gonna have like the best time of removing it by battle. And I think red's the only one that can really deal with things that are a little bit easier by reducing the cost and then negging it down to 0. But he's got no combo power to compensate because that is really good for the stats for the cost, and his effects are quite nice as well. Because on play, you add up to one card with a cost of 4 or less from your drop. So that's any card. It could be a battle card or a extra card. That's 4 or less to your hand to them back of your hand, and that can play very well with second effect, which is when attacking. If you have 7 or fewer cards in your hand, play up to one battle card with cost 4 or less from your hand. So this gives blue a good way to just every turn spam out for free a 4 cost or less, and there's some good ones there. You got a Piccolo that grabs you back a extra if you got 7 or less cards in hand. You got the Trunks we just previously saw. You got the Goku Black where if you have 7 or less in your hand you draw a card. You've got a Trunks that bounces a 3 or cost or less on play, and also has critical. And you got the 4 cost 30k critical Vegeta as well. So you got some pretty good targets, and the Vegeta that can attack twice and bottom deck 1 drops, which is really nice. So a load of good targets. You just have to find this, and in any other blue deck, it's coming down for 6, which is still not too bad. But in Goku Black, you can bring this out 4 energy if you got a Zamasu turn before, and you see both the Zamasu and the Goku Black. So a really nice card. Just it doesn't seem like it's a good payoff in the Goku Black, but then the consistency of Goku Black with the lack of draw just lets it down in that deck. But it's still good in any blue deck. And then we have Vegeta. Now this is a really nice SR because kind of like if you're going second with green, you can ramp as soon as turn 2 with using the marker 2 energy with the extra card. But then your next turn you're 4 energy, and most of the things that ramp after 3 energy or 5 energy. So you've got if you're on second you ramp on curve, you've then got a short bit of in between. Like you do have the pre-release Goku, that is a 4 cost 25k that ramps from hand, but it ramps from hand, which means you're making more cards from your hand, and you've got to see it. So this Vegeta is a really nice one to have in place because it's a 4 cost 20k, similar to the Goku. Well, similar to Goku's at 4 cost. 10k combo does a 5k less on its power, but its on play is similar but a little bit easier because it's on play, add up to one card with cost 3 or more from your drop to your energy in rest mode. So unlike Goku, where Goku's got benefits of it ramps the card in active mode, and it's a bit stronger, but it does it from hand. Whereas the Vegeta, he ramps from rest mode of a 5k of a 3 cost or more, but it comes in rest mode, he's a little bit weaker. So he's a little bit weaker, ramps like energy in rest mode, but it's not much you're doing for 1 energy, maybe like a cantrip or even a battle trick, like more on defense. But you're not losing cards from hand. You're playing this card from hand, but then you're ramping, gaining a body attack with, and you're ramping from drop. And if you did the turn 3 energy play of the turn before using the extra card to ramp, you've got that as a target to ramp with this. Meaning that then when you go into your next turn, you go into next turn on 6 or 5 energy, depending if you charge, and can start doing more ramp or play bigger things on curve. So this is a great SR for any deck that or any of the green Saiyan decks that ramp with the extra card, because you can play it straight after, establish body, even uses great activate main, which is activate main once per turn. Discard a card from your hand as a cost, which is not too bad. You can ditch like dead cards out or targets for future ramp, and then choose up 20 opponent's battle cards with a 2 cost or less and KO it. So you can get rid of like pesky blockers, pesky little 1-drops, pesky little things on the board to get rid of them. Or even against red, if you're being aggroed, pop some of the cheat cards they've been establishing to aggro you so you can survive to later turns. So really nice card, really good SRs here. So only hit being hits this 0.1 so far, and the other ones are quite nice. Not like massively powerful, but then really good cards for rarity. I think the super rares have been very well done for Fusion World so far. But then we go into the other two SRs, and we get 2 in green for Android. So we get one that's both Android 17 and 18, and one that's just 18. That's cool. So we got the big SR in a 6-drop 40k for the dual Androids, and a 2-cost 20k for the Android 18. The bigger one having no combo power to compensate for how, just like with the other double strikers, because that's double strike, that they've got no combo power, very good costing, like very good power, high costing, but very good effects. So no combo power, and 18, just a 2-cost 20k, so you've got 5k combo. And so the nice thing we have for green is now that they have a double strike. So green was lacking a double strike from the starters. They all getting double strikes from that. But now green finally gets a double strike, and it's only one in each color as well. So only each color only has one double striker, which is cool. And it's just not like it's not spamming double strike on everything. Like kind of Masters now has like there's like strike skills in almost anything. But in this game, every color's got one double striker, which is cool. They have no combo cost and they're quite high costing. And this one's got a really nice on play as well. Like the only one that's not got a great effect is the Goku from Red. It's not got the best compared to the others. But this one has the on play of choose up to 2 of your opponent's battle cards with cost 3 or less and KO them. So this adds not only a double striker to green, but a really nice card in green to now handle wider boards, which it has trouble with to begin with, because it's a card that is a deck that wants to just it's a color that wants to get up to high energy to play these big things, but needs to get there first, ramping ever so, and you can ramp once a turn slowly. So if you build up a massive board and go wide with little weenie guys, they can have trouble dealing with them because they've only got like one swing of lead and maybe one little thing, or one thing they've played a turn. But this allows you to clap back by popping things they've got that's little on board to help slow down the tame the aggression, and then go more at board or into leader a bit heavier. So it's really nice. And then we've got the Android, so her effect is on play, draw one card and discard one card from your hand. Now this is really good to help set up for Androids, because if you remember with Androids, their ramp is a fill card every turn just for 1 energy. Charge a Android from your drop to your energy. So this is really nice to just on play. Draw a card, so you're drawing forever for your deck to find the things you want, to find the things you need. And then discarding a card from your hand, which is discarding an Android so you can set up for the fill card, which is very nice. Or you can set up forever like combo plays with Android 17 and 18 cards. And then its ever effect is really good. Is when attacking, if you have 6 more energy, draw 1 card. So both the 2-cost Androids we've got in Android 19 and 18 are both really nice. In Android 19 is once you get to 6 energy, it's permanently a 2-cost 25k. Whereas this Android 18 just 6 more energy, which you can easily get to in green. Every time it swings, you draw a card. And if you can protect this, you can just keep getting more and more advantage every turn. And this is something more yellow has than any other colours, so green having it is a little bit nice. And it just gives it some more smaller things to kind of do things with and get bigger benefit when you get to 6 energy. So really nice SRs here. Green having some very nice ones, which is really nice. Then we go on to yellow. So first we got yellow is 2 big 4-drops in Freezer and Cooler. So Freezer being a more generic one and Cooler being more like looking like it's for the Cooler starter deck, or Cooler leader. And we've got these as, these are big bodies, both 4 costs, Freezer being 40k and Cooler being 30k, so Freezer being stronger than even a skill loss of its cost, while Cooler being the same power as a skill loss. And to compensate with that, Freezer's only got 5k combo, which is not too bad considering what his skill is, which will go in a sec, and Cooler having no combo power because of his power and skills. So Freezer, it seems nuts having a 4 cost 40k and still having combo power, but it's permanent, kind of like is his hindrance in that this card can't be switched to active mode during your charge phase, but there's very easy ways to get around that. You've got Banana as a battle card that every yellow deck can have to go with it to then restand at the end of the turn. You've got the Freezer leader that restands at the end of the turn, so you have to worry about its downside, and even the Cooler has an effect on his awakened side, the leader, to ditch any card from your hand to restand it to attack again, or just have it so you can attack. So that's not bad. So that's a really nice card, really strong card, and its downside can be managed quite well given how you build your deck and what leader you use, which is really cool. And then we've got Cooler. So his effects, he's a blocker, so he's there for defense, but blocker's still not a great skill because there's so many ways to deal with blockers that you don't have to worry too much. You can like rest it in yellow, neg it in red, bounce it in blue, and pop it in green. So blocker, while being a nice skill, is easy to get around if you build your deck right and play your cards right. But his other effect is either when attacking or when blocking, you get to choose up to one of your opponent's battle cards, which is the rest mode. Then if that card is a 2 cost less, you KO it. So that's really nice, being able to tap down any of your opponent's battle cards. So being able to block them, switching rest mode, so then you can freeze them and stuff or attack into them. and if they're small, like basically pop some little things off your opponent's board, which is really cool. And even when blocking, so you can swing with it with Freezer, then restand it so you can block it and do it again, choose something else that's not attacking, rest it, and if it's small, pop it. And in Caller, you can let it basically use it to attack twice or even block twice to get the effect off twice offensively or defensively. And you're not really going to run this in Ginyu, so there's no point in mentioning for that. But it's not too bad a card. I personally don't like this too much because its lack of combo power and the fact that it doesn't do much for 4 energy compared to Freezer or some other ones. It just doesn't seem as great to me, but still not as bad as Hit. That's the one thing to take away from it. Then we come to the last of the SRs, being the Ginyu one. This is the one I was hyped up the most for, like looking forward to, and I was really hoping that it was going to be a during your turn you can give all your you can give all your Ginyu force on board at 5k for the turn to kind of help deal with frost and make it a little bit easier. But no, it's still in line with its power and cost. It's power and cost being a 2 cost 20k, 5k combo, so it's still at least got combo power for an SR, which is nice to have. But its on play is still amazing for its effect because its on play. If you have 3 or more cards with Battle for Freeze Army and their special traits, switch up to 2 of your enemy to active mode, then you can't play Ginyu for the turn. So this is great. So it restricts you from playing Ginyu cards for the turn. So not Ginyu Force. So you can still play Raccoon, Berta, Jace, and stuff like that. You just can't play the character Ginyu for the turn. But that's not bad because if it didn't have that restriction, it would be pretty busted just dropping multiple of these in the turn and just for free, spamming 4 20ks for nothing. To just which all pressure lead and that being more swings out, especially with the Ginyu lead as well, being able to then play 2 more after it and then restand them all for just in turn so many attacks, which is a bit unfair. So it's a nice restriction, and it's weird that it says Freezer Army and not Ginyu Force, because it's a Ginyu card for the Ginyu Force, and you expect it to be more locked to that, and it should have been locked to Ginyu Force, because that would make it less splashable, but the fact it's just Freezer Army, and most of the yellow cards are Freezer Army cards, means this is not only just restricted to the Ginyu, it's a splashable special card with the Ginyu Force is now splashable at core, like a package, for any yellow deck now, and you've got this nice little aggressive package that is very cheap and effective. Because Freezer Army, all you need, if you combine this with Raccoon and have any other Freezer card on the board, you pay 3 energy for Raccoon, potentially take a life, play out this, and then because you've got Hit Self and Raccoon as Ginyu Freezer Army and another Freezer Army on board, you untap 2, meaning you've got 5 energy worth of battle cards out for just 1 energy in any yellow deck. And you can have things like all you need on the other one to be is like a cantrip from turn 1, like 1-drop Ginyu, any other Freezer Army on board for this to trigger with Raccoon to very easily be able to drop 2 battle cards, 2 20k attackers which are threat and Waken leaders for 1 energy, and then do more energy, like play some good Ginyu Force extras as well to make use of it. Now, this card is nuts, I reckon, in yellow, and a very good for like just an easy yellow package for any yellow deck, which if you watch some of my deck pros come up, you'll see about that. So that's all the super rares. So last but not least, we have the 2 secret rares as well. So Bandai showed the 2 secret rares as well, so we can see all the cards before showing the alt arts, which is nice. I'd rather them show all the cards and then the alts because you want to see all the cards so we can get some proper testing in. And these are the secret rares. So I think someone did work out that in the set, not including the secret rares, it was only red and green that had 1 less card than the rest. So they anticipated that those would be the colors that were going to get the secret rares. And there are people guessing because of the characters and decks that Gohan and Goku are going to be the secret rares of the set. And lo and behold, we got a red Goku secret rare and a green Gohan one. So in typical fashion, similar to how they do One Piece, they do it very well, like two secret rares. And just like with SRs, because they've got insane power and effects for their cost, they've got 0 combo power. So to make them fair, that you can't just spam all of them and still get good benefits defensively, you've got 0 combo power on them, which means if you want to run multiple of these, you're going to be lacking in the hand to defend, or even just use them without playing them. And high costs mean that you're going to be waiting for a while to play them. Even with green, wait until you get 7 energy is a fair few turns into the game. Just like 4 energy here for Goku. But for them, we got the Goku, which is a 4 cost 30k, so good, just skillless level power to cost. No combo power, but his effects are on play, choose it to one of your opponent's battle cards, and he gets minus 15k power to turn, so that's not too bad. It's not absolutely amazing, but still with the second effect, that's pretty good. Just coming down minus to something by 15k. And then the other auto is when this card KOs an opponent's battle card in battle, deal 1 damage to your opponent, which is really nice because it means that you don't have to start going into your leader to finish them off when they got 1 energy. If they got something weak on the board and 1 life, you can drop this, minus it even further, as long as it doesn't kill it, and then swing into it, put everything into it. Now they've got a combo out of a battle card that you can make smaller than the leader, and then if they take it, they take the 1 damage as well. So this gives red even more good like board control and removal in this, and especially when compared with the Beerus, you might start by 15k, then they're for 5k, 10k. So your opponent's got something big on the board that you want to get rid of. You can reduce it to attack to it, and also force doing potential damage to it as well. So a very nice secret red in there. Remember, you can run unlike Masters, you can run a full play set of secret rares because this game doesn't have the ultimate tag like Masters has, and the secret rares are not as busted as Masters ones are. So you can get a playset of Goku. You just have to remember 0 combo power means it's going to be very, very bad to your hand if you draw multiple of them and can't use them. But then we've got Gohan here. So Gohan is the secret rare for green. So you've got a 7 cost, 50k. So 50k is a good amount of power, but we haven't had a secret rare. Oh, well, a 7 drop. But remember the 8 drop is 45, so it's even bigger than Broly. And he's got a very nice on play, like a very good on play. And that is on play. Discard 1 card for your hand as the cost. So you got to discard another card to do it. Choose all your opponent's battle cards will cost 5 or less and KO them. Then this card can't attack for the turn. So you got the restriction of not being an attack if you use this effect, but still, by discarding 1 card from your hand, you get to nuke your opponent's entire board. And against, like, this nukes the entire board for yellow and red, so red and yellow will have their entire board nuked. Blue, the only thing that you can't hit in blue is the 6 drop Goku Black, which then waits till turn 6 to drop, unless you're a Goku Black. And in yellow, and in green, this hits a fair amount, but then there's some bigger boss monsters that you can't hit, like the card itself, if your opponent has it, the androids, or the 8 drop Broly, or the 6 drop Gohan. So against any color that isn't green, you could just nuke the entire board with this, but you don't have to. But then you don't get to attack. But then you can still play this if you want to attack. And because remember, the fact that with this effect is you need to discard a card as a cost to do it. If you don't discard, then you don't nuke and you don't get prevented from attacking. So if you want to drop this and just attack with it, because it's a 7 drop for 50k, you can play it, not discard, and then still attack with it because you won't be using the effect. But it's still a nutty secret rare you at least run at least 2 of because it's just board wipes, which currently we've seen only red really has, and even then red, same kind of thing where it's high costing and it doesn't ramp, and it's got 0 combo power. So these are very good secret rares. Green getting more buses stuff to be like so what's it? Solidify the fact that it's the best color in the game currently, and red get a really good one that's just even more obnoxious than most of the red cards. But that is it for that one. We've started getting some alt art, so we've seen some of the leaders already. But the only problem is they haven't been revealing them like these cards, like this. They've been really revealing on like little cards and then showing the cards effects. I'm waiting for them to come out with the more of the kind of things like this with the alt arts to show them a little bit nicer. And if not, I'll just do them with what they've got, and hopefully by the end of this week, we'll have the rest of the alt arts to see, so we can see them all in one go rather than like bit by bit. So that's it for today, and for this week, for last week. Thank you for watching. Feel free to like, comment, subscribe. Let me know which ones are your favourites and what you like out of these, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.